Are you interested in the topic of self-awareness? I just found that maybe we can just talk more about that.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I noticed that it's already recorded there. I'm wondering, so maybe Brittany, can you just stop the recording and I can start from my side?
So I actually tried to stop the recording on my end, but I cannot. Can you see who is the host?
Oh, I'll check it. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry about that.
I cannot stop the recording as well. CL, can you see that whether you are the host?
I am the host. Let me see. No, I can't. I cannot record, like stop recording or anything. Like, yeah, I'm not. I don't have the control.
Let me try one more thing. If not, what I'll do is I'll send an email to the admin team right after we finish and let them know that the whole first 20 some minutes was just us trying to prepare because we hadn't had time prior, and that it just needs to be edited out.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
If that would be okay. But let me try to see if I can stop it. Just if I could have just 5 minutes, if that would be okay. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem.
No, I'm sorry. We would need to be a host. So I'll send admin Brianna and Frank an email after we're done and just give them a heads up.
Sure, I can do that, and we can. So maybe I think we can start. Hey everyone, welcome to the session today. So today we will basically talk about something about the self-awareness. So I'm wondering, how do you guys understand the concept of self-awareness?
Thank you for that question. From what I've seen in my time as a professional and my experiences in life, I think self-awareness differs for everybody across culture, across experiences, through what we learn. And it can be impacted by a variety of different things, including even mental health.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Brittany said about like I definitely agree that like our self-awareness is built upon how we interpret our past experience and our current life, and also like the general like impacts of all the factors in our life to us, and also being aware of like our like mental status, like the mood, the feelings, the general wellness. And I think it's a very it's combination of a lot of things into self-awareness. And also like for if we're bringing like self-awareness to the counselings, it will be like recognize like how our clients are actually affecting us, like how their values may be different or the same as like ours, and being aware. And also like we need to try to not let our own awareness and beliefs and things try to affect our clients. Just this is also like, and also avoid the counter transference from the client too. So yeah, I think all those things are actually related to self-awareness, like in our personal like individual level and the professional level.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing. I think both of you guys have made great points that self-awareness is really a broad topic, and it concludes different aspects, and it's come from your previous experience and based on your culture, based on everything you have been experienced before. And also I really like what Sia has pointed out that as a therapist, we need to focus not only for our own self-awareness and the self-awareness as a professional figure, and try not let this kind of our own value and thoughts impact the dynamic between our like clients. So this may like lead to a little bit like link to a little bit about the like countertransference or something like that. So can you guys just talk a little bit about what do you have any like countertransference experience before, and how do you stay in the mode of become self-aware and to try not to impact by this countertransference?
I think an example would be kind of early on. It wasn't when I was a counselor, it was more so early on when I was just starting in my career life, in positions, giving care in a different way, where somebody was struggling emotionally and I just wanted them to feel better, but that's not what they wanted. They didn't want to feel better. They wanted to sit in their suffering and kind of just sit with their feelings. But I just wanted so bad for them to be happy, but in that time, that's not what they needed. So if that had been in a counseling role, that could have been damaging. So kind of to take that step back and have that awareness of yourself and realize, well, if I want that for the client, I mean, that may be what I want for myself, but just really having that awareness of what the client needs for themselves and their own self-awareness, and just asking those questions of, what are your goals? What do you need what do you want? What are you feeling?
Yeah, thank you, Brittany. It's more like be aware of it is in a therapeutic environment, and we will like ask for the client's needs and their goals rather than try to impose our own value and own feelings on them. Thank you for that. How about Siyao?
Yeah, actually, I really agree with what Brittany said, and also like I can give an example. Like for example, like in my clients didn't have this so far, but like for example, like in a relationship, like my clients share with me that in their relationship, she or he is not being loyalty like in the relationship, but this is actually really like is like I really care about this, but this is my client. I need to respect, and also they may express like their concerns and they don't want to be that like in that way also, like so I need to respect their things and not just try to persuade them like stop, but actually try to explore like what is behind it and what is missing in his or her like current relationship, and try to help him or her to get out of that trap, or get or like be able to like figure out like what he or she actually wants in a relationship. So I cannot force my own values and beliefs on my clients. And also like I need to reduce, like even though I may feel uncomfortable, but I need to of course I need to take care of myself too. Like I can do like some like supervision. I ask my supervisor afterwards to process with my supervisor. But in the therapeutic environment, like in the counseling session, I need to respect my client and also try to reduce the like my own beliefs and like feelings hurt my clients and affect their perceptions. And also definitely like I cannot let them feeling that they are being judged, or they are like or they are wrong or anything. This can be really discouraging for them too. So I need to really be aware of my own, yeah, what I say. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And I agree with you that we should like provide a environment for the a safe environment for the clients so that they wouldn't feel that they are judged, and they wouldn't feel we are like impose our maybe bias and worldview and some our own thoughts on them. And I really like your way of deal with this maybe uncomfortable is that to ask for the supervisor and to reach out for help. So in this way you can just process your feelings and your own concerns after the session. So I'm wondering, do you guys have any other thoughts on how to deal with like how to better build our self-awareness, and how to deal with maybe uncomfortable moments during a session?
So for me, like if there's a moment in a session like I feel a bit uncomfortable, I feel a bit difficult, I would make a mark. I would put a mark there, like on my notes. So I would make sure that I have chance to process by myself or with my supervisor like afterwards. So this is something I will do. And also like I think I really appreciate like the training, like in like we do a lot of like self like the paper assignments and things, like it's explore ourselves, like our own values and our cultural beliefs and think how our culture or identities actually affect me. Actually like I start to know myself better, and also a lot of things start to make sense actually much more than before. And actually like I think this is really the personal growth I have from my training is actually helping me to help, like I think it can also bring into the counseling sessions for my clients too, to help them have personal growth. And also like when I am in the session I will be more aware of my feelings and things. And also I don't want to say it's not self, it's more immediacy, or like just trying to tell my client that actually what I feel from this experience and what I see from them, just authentically tell them. And actually maybe they just need the real feedbacks from others, like from other parties in their relationships. So if I can be honest and tell them and like my own feelings, and they may actually learn, like they may have more recognition and awareness about how their effects or is actually affecting others, or if there's any patterns in his or her thoughts and like beliefs or communications or anything. So I think like just generally how I try to use self-awareness and how to bring self-awareness in session.
Yeah, thanks for your sharing. And I noticed that there are a lot of good points. That first, you can just make a mark in your therapy notes and process it afterwards. And another thing that the training means a lot to you, and you can learn gain a lot of skills to deal with the self issue, and you can also explore on your own experience, your own value systems, and be aware of what you are at now, and then you could be more like have more self-awareness during the session. And another thing it stands out to me is that you can use immediacy during the session and to like become sincere to your clients and try to talk with them about your true feeling. And I really agree with you that it is a good strategy for us to deal with some maybe some tricky dynamic between us and the clients, and maybe bring up this elephant in the session, and we can just talk about what is going on. So it would be better for us to build up a more a closer relationship. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So how about Brittany?
I really like the points that both of you raised about kind of working with your supervisor, about using your assignments and your notes. Personally, I use a lot more personal reflection. I tend to do a lot more personal processing and journaling. I'll also do a lot of processing through exercise. So after all my sessions are done for the day, or if I've had a particularly rough session that may have made me feel really uncomfortable, I'll go for a run. Get out that energy that may have built up there, and then really process and see where those feelings may be coming from for me, maybe where the client may have been, and then the next session I'll bring it up with the client and see and make a note to myself to bring it up with the client, as you mentioned, Yu Yang, about bringing up that elephant in the room. So a lot of self-reflection, and then going from there, seeing what I may need, and then also bringing it up with my supervisor and seeing what additional input or insights may be needed in the situation.
Yeah, I agree with you that the personal reflection activity will be really important for us to do so, and also it could be helpful for the client as well. And I really like what you have talked about doing some exercising and doing the journaling, and to maybe something look back about your therapeutic experiences, and to review that, and to process what you have done before and process your feeling. Maybe you can just notice some like stuff you didn't have time to focus on during the session. Yeah. And so I think another thing I want to add on that is I found that ask for feedback is another like way we can just build on our like professional self-awareness during the session. So because we need to work with our clients, and they may have the direct like feedback, that they may have the direct feeling about what our like works and our feelings. And I think when asked for feedback, it's just open up an opportunity for us to know ourselves from other perspective. Yeah. So I think another way is to recognize our strengths and weaknesses. And I think it could be we can just become like aware of our strengths and like weaknesses by doing the like personal reflection work, as you guys just talked about. And also we should like set boundaries about our weaknesses, and we should be aware of our specialty. And when we know this area is really out of our control and we cannot handle this situation, we need to set the boundaries and to tell the client to maybe just refer them to other therapists and to like practice more like ethically, something like that. So I think we have talked a little bit about how to build our own self-awareness as a therapist. So I'm wondering, have you guys worked on how to build the self-awareness about the clients, and how to bring up this topic during the session, and yeah, something like that?
Thank you, Brittany. I definitely agree with what all you have said about like getting feedbacks from clients, and also like writing like personal reflections, doing self-care to help us increase our own self-awareness. And also I want to add a little bit to my like what I said about bringing my training into the sessions. Is because like my own training helped me to understand myself better, to resolve my own past issues a lot. So I just feel like those assignments like in trainings are actually helpful. And some of them, like we can use the similar questions I have asked myself to ask my clients. Okay, so how those things are actually affecting you. And also like a lot of times like clients' current concerns are not their current concerns. Actually, there are a lot of roots from the past. So use those questions to bring like different kind of perspectives into the session, to open there, to add like to make their interpretation of their own experience more rich, is something we can do. And also like I think psychoeducation is really, really important. For example, like people may have different like there are some stereotypes about like feeling emotions, identify the emotions they have. So we can incorporate like those psychoeducation to tell our client that actually feeling emotions is a very healthy thing, and how we are actually to differentiate between like feel the emotions and occupied by the emotions. So those are actually very different kind of things. So actually help them be able to stay with the emotions but not like stuck in them is actually a good way to address this concern. So very similar to this, bringing psychoeducation and effective tools like after the psychoeducation to help our clients be able to build like more those kind of self-awareness, to be able to stay at the present, to live at the present, and also to not avoid all those negative feelings and thoughts in their minds. So they're able to start with the stay at present, like the self-awareness, and then moving on towards being self-aware of how their past events are actually affecting them. This is I think is a deeper level of self-awareness, and also accept their defects, weakness, and also give more recognize to the strengths, to their strengths, their good qualities, their great things, become let the session become a strength focused sessions. I think it's also very important thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like there are a lot of things we can do during the session, and yeah, I agree with you that the about the training part you have done before, it is actually also good for the clients to maybe write some self-awareness journal and to explore on their culture or identity, career aspect, or some thing about their origin family. And this kind of resources may be also important for them to be more aware of themselves. Also, I really like what you have talked about doing some psychoeducation to let the clients to be comfortable to feel their emotion and stay with their emotion and live at the present, something like that. And I'm wondering what other thoughts, what kind of other thoughts do you have?
So piggybacking off of CL, I also do a lot of strengths-based, a lot of exploration of strengths. I've had quite a few sessions where there's been a lot of issues with self-awareness, and awareness may be a goal to develop more awareness and explore more about the self. There may not be a big definition of the self, which is leading to a lot of those underlying issues. And so exploring those strengths, as well as sometimes greater awareness of the body itself. So developing awareness of the breath, or awareness of where tension is being held in the body. So sometimes that mindfulness of where tension, where pain, where the emotion is in the body. And again, going back to what Sia mentioned of just sitting with that emotion. Sometimes the awareness of where that emotion is being held in the body can be very helpful in getting through that emotion and just accepting it. As well as can even help soothe that emotion, or as well as even just help in that awareness. It can provide a lot of different benefits. So awareness of what's going on in the present moment, that can also help with clients who are experiencing in cases of PTSD or in derealization. So kind of bringing awareness back to the body, back to the self. So even just simple awareness of physical reality, or even physical touch, and that can even be soothing in itself, or awareness of the different sensations can be helpful in regrounding as well.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And I agree with you that like strength-based is also an important topic we can address during the session to build up our like self-awareness and to help the clients to like maybe to empower the clients and to let them know their resilience and instill the hope for them to fight against with all the struggle happens in their real life. And yeah, I really like this idea that maybe because a lot of my clients have a really depressed mood and they feel like they cannot they have low self-esteem, something like that. And at this moment, maybe just let them to be aware of their strengths, their like competence, and their support system is also a good way for them to become like just brave enough to fight against with their mental issues. And another thing I really like what you have talked about is that to build up the like physical awareness. And I think we have talked about this topic before, and we can help the clients to do some like muscle relaxation or do some other grounding skills, like help them to focus on here and now and to connect their body with their emotions and with their thoughts, and help them to become a more like consistent like person. Yeah. So that's basically for today's topic. So do you have any other thoughts on that, or do you have other like topic like related to this want to talk about?
Not really, but I definitely agree with your last parts about like how to connect our body with our mind. And a lot of times we focus too much on our mind, but we ignore and like neglect our body sensations and things. Being able to let them be aware of like how they're what in their minds are actually also affecting what they are feeling on their body, and those physical sensations actually reflect a lot of things, have a lot of like signals and warning signs, and also how to connect them together. It's also a very important thing. I definitely agree with what you said. And also I think it's a great like this topic is great, like it's to discuss, and I think it's a very important thing, not only for counselor, for a client, and for our individuals are also, it's also a very, very important topic. So I really appreciate like your leading, and it's a great one. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sia, and thank you for your input today.
So see you tomorrow. So see everyone tomorrow.
So do you have any like last thoughts, Brittany?
I think that this was an amazing topic that, as Sia said, that can benefit everyone. That awareness of yourself, of your mental, emotional, and physical being in every moment, no matter how small the moment, can be huge and can truly impact your overall happiness, any outcome in any moment. So I really do appreciate all the insight that both you Yang, and you Xiao provided. Thank you, Yang, for leading this beautiful discussion. Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you guys. And so maybe I think that's basically for today's session, and I'll see you tomorrow maybe. Yeah. So bye.
Bye, see you tomorrow. Bye.